All right, so what's up, guys? Feeling a little old? Feeling like, man, the best years of my life are just gone. My youth is just not around anymore. You feeling lonely, friend? Maybe you're single. You really want to be married, and you're just like, you know what? This isn't working out. I'm just gonna marry just any random person that'll have me. You think of dropping your standards just because you just can't take it anymore. It's getting a little toasty. You want to snuggle with somebody. Well, listen, settling, we're not going to settle, people. We are not going to settle. This is a little healthy dose of a reminder that you're called to great things. You just can't be hooking yourself up to any old person. So let's not settle. Don't settle. So hey, what's up? Welcome to Simon Says TV. It's me, Simon, your favorite youth and young adult pastor, coming at you from White Plains, New York today. That's right, I'm not in Colorado anymore. But got a few minutes before it's time to attack the day, and just wanted to encourage you, especially my single folks. I just came back from a wedding. You're gonna hear about it in a second, but man, I don't know about you. If you got any single people, or maybe you can relate. Being single is not easy, especially when you're ready to mingle. But let's get into this. But first, gotta remind you about the book I wrote. It's a great resource. Whether you find yourself waiting on that perfect someone, or you're just ready to take your life to the next level, get the book. You'll read it probably like 2 days, but it'll give you at least 37 years of fruitful advice and encouragement. So go ahead and cop cop a copy. Amazon bookstore. It's really inexpensive. I don't even know why you wouldn't want it. Anyway, listen, I just got back from Colorado. It was Phil King's wedding. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I was one of the groomsmen. I believe I was the best man. Ooh. And had a great time. But it was just it was so special just to see how much God is in the details of our life. Sometimes when we're looking at it, at our own life, we're like, God, where are you? But then when you see God moving in the details of someone else's life, it just brings things into perspective. Brooks Till, you are amazing, dude. So I was hanging out with Phil, and I was one of his boys, right? So I'm just trying to make this dude sound like he's just God's gift to the earth. You know what I mean? Just talking him up in the speeches, raising a glass of ice water, you know what I'm saying? Because I got those AG credentials. Hello, somebody. But I was hearing all the other bridesmaids, all the women that were there to love on Kaylin. And shout out to Kaylin. Phil, you did good, bro. And I'm like, man, God truly was just in the details, in the history books of both of these people's lives. And I'm not. Let me just speak for Phil. My boy is not in his 20s anymore, all right? So he's not a 20-something-year-old anymore. Don't want to shout him out, but neither am I. So let's just get that out the way. And man, just to see the Lord just moving in his life, and I was like, I know personally that he had a couple opportunities to just not be single anymore. You know what I mean? Just like most of us, we had a couple opportunities to throw in the towel and say, you know what? I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired. Like, where is the one that God is going to bring to me? And I was like, man, if Phil would have settled, if I would have settled, if you would have settled, if you're thinking about, just like, man, maybe I'm making too big of a thing about this. Maybe I should just get married. Maybe I just marry some random dude or some random girl, and maybe God will work some magic. Maybe I'll just pray in tongues over them when I'm sleeping. Try to get them transformed. Like, you know what? Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're making fun of it, but listen, I just want to encourage you, those that are fighting the good fight of keeping it real and making it, finding that special someone. I was just so encouraged to see God. Man, he is in the details of our life, and he wants us to be with the right person more than we could ever want it for ourselves, because he knows what he's got for us, and he knows that if we get hooked up to the wrong one, it'll be like a trailer, right? like pulling a trailer around South Mississippi. You're this Ford. You're this, you're an F-150. You're a Bronco. I don't even know why I'm using truck examples, but you've got a destination and you got to pull this trailer, and it's hot in the trailer, and there's a bunch of weird, odors coming from the trailer. You're trying to pull this trailer into your destiny. Get rid of the trailer, friend. God hasn't called you the trailer. Let's go. So don't settle. That's what we're talking about today. We're not going to settle. And when Jesus, I got 3 quick ones for you, and just my thoughts coming back from this Holy Ghost wedding. When Jesus is in the center of everything in our lives, and he's the center of our relationships, when he's in the center of all we're doing, the whole relationship thing leaves this natural place, and it really comes into this it's a God thing, right? And I know it's tough to trust God when we're in the middle of all that, but you know what? When we truly give this to the Lord, and we give this area over to the Lord, it's like we really give God permission to move, and we can really release it to Him. And so we got to release these relationships to the Lord. I know it's hard, because especially when you feel like you're running out of time, And I know that's something we put on ourselves, but when we start feeling that pressure, we'll start doing some crazy stuff. I always say this: me and Jesus will make some really bad decisions sometimes. So that's why we need each other to help check us when we're about to do something dumb. But yeah, the second is, it was so awesome to hear the testimony of God in Kaylin's life. So she had some bridesmaids that had been walking with her for some time, and Phil had some people that had been walking with him. And it was just just every story that I could tell about Phil, about, how he, years of waiting, years of trying to do the right thing. Kaylin had the same thing going on her side. So it was it was just powerful to see that, when we're paying the price to live for God, not perfect, but when we're trying our best, it's like God, it's like an Oreo. You know what I'm saying? You had Phil on one side who's doing his best to pay the price, to live for the Lord, to set himself up to win. And then over here on the other side, you had Kaylin, who was doing the same thing. Now Phil never saw Kaylin. Phil never knew that there was someone over here, but he just trusted that the Lord was preparing somebody. And then boom, when they met, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. The third that I want to point out, and I have found this true in my life, and I found this true in some other people's lives, God can do things quick. Now, I know you feel like, oh my gosh, I've been single forever. All these people are showing up in my DMs. I could play the field a little bit. I could be having some fun right now. I tell you what, it feels like forever. It feels like you're in the desert wilderness. But what I've seen God do is you'll go what feels like such a long time with no love and no help from God. You feel like, man, I'm out here by myself. And then, boom, in an instant, you met the right person, you're dating, you're in a relationship, and you're it's moving. So God does things suddenly. Doesn't mean it's quickly in our estimation, but He can do it suddenly. And so, guys, don't get discouraged. I got a couple people in my mind. I'm shouting them out. I'm not going to say their names, but man, it's just we just get so caught up. We think, man, this ain't happening. This ain't going to work. But God can do it suddenly. And that's not just relationships. That's anything you're waiting on. That time we're waiting for God to set it up feels like eternity. But then it's like that season, boom, when God brings us into the promise, it happens quick. And you don't want to, that might be tomorrow. You might wake up, go to that Bible study, join that Zoom conference call, and I'm talking God because, boom, He can do it quick. But sometimes it takes a couple weeks, months, years, where no one sees, where you're paying the price. God bless you today. Hope you have a great day. I literally hope you have a great day. And just don't settle. Let's go. No settling. See you next time.